sports, and we'll see who rules the skies in today's battle. It's the Seattle Seahawks and the Atlanta Falcons, and it kicks off next on Madden NFL 25.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Now, Charles, you and I, we've done a lot of games together. Always seems like we're rehashing the same storylines. Turnovers, of course, always a big story. Quarterback play, running backs, yada, yada, yada. But getting ready for this one word kept coming to mind, and that's preparation.
Well, it's critical to be prepared. Physically, mentally. When you think about getting ready for an NFL game, you have to wonder, what will they throw at us that maybe we haven't seen before? 2-minute drill, maybe different things like that. Got to be prepared. You're exactly right.
The veteran punter Bradley Pinion has this one teed up, and we are underway from Atlanta. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. And they're led out by their mobile quarterback out of West Virginia. It's Geno Smith.
I still remember back in 2013 when he was drafted out of West Virginia. He was coming off of back-to-back 4,000-yard seasons for the Mountaineers. Hadn't seen as much game time in recent years, but at one point, a capable starter in the NFL.
And they'll run. It's Ken Walker. Shoves him aside. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks. Well, there you go. This offense off to a strong start this afternoon.
Yeah, with a big run and a first down. That's putting what you practice into play. That's excellent execution to get things started.
Back to Walker on first down. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Walker now on 1st and 10. And a short gain down to about the 33. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
Walker with another carry. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31. Defensively, they rally quickly after the broken tackle. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on first.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
A shotgun snap for Smith. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Tyler Lockett. 31 yards. And the Seahawks are on the board first here this afternoon. Well, they spoke about the importance of getting off to a good start, and they're on their first drive, Charles, into the end zone for the touchdown.
And what an advantage for them. They're already clicking one drive in, didn't need to wait to get up to full speed. We had heard about the extra time they'd put in with each other, trying to learn each other's skills, what they liked, the whole deal, and it paid off early in this one. I would expect them to keep firing on the next drive and keep that connection going.
Myers connects on the PAT, and that makes the score 7-0. So the drive there took 6 plays.
And it ends with a Tyler Lockett touchdown.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time.
They'll be led out by their quarterback, the rookie from the University of Washington.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Offenses all over continue to be aggressive, and most people never turn down a shot at a deep ball, but oftentimes it attracts a little bit of extra attention, and it did on that play, and that one got knocked away.
2nd and 10. A run for the first time with Bijan Robinson.
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down.
And looking to throw, Penix.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack. The start of this game shaping up nicely on that visiting sideline.
Yeah, how about that? You get your points on the opening drive. Then you get a big sack there on 3rd down, and you make the home crowd go, shh.
There is a hush indeed. Now a man who did his collegiate punting just a couple hours from here in Clemson in South Carolina, Bradley Pinion to kick.
Back deep is Jalen Darden.
This is brought in at the 21. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their 2nd drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
And he powers through the first wave, but he's going to be swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
51 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line.
12 more yards there and another 1st down. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
And going right back to Walker.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, Guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 31-yard line. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Noah Fant, 31 yards.
And the Seahawks lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Well, this has been a flawless start for them. They score, they get the stop, and they score again, Charles.
Complimentary football at its finest. You've just mentioned how they got it done. They scored. The defense got the ball back for them. They score again. That's the way you win ball games.
Now Myers for the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. So that drives 7 plays in length.
And it's Noah Fant who caps things off with the touchdown.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30.
A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. They'll bring a receiver in motion left.
They'll go play action here with Penix.
Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only first down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on second down.
A give left side to Robinson.
And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. It's a gain of 16, first down Falcons.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Here's 2nd and 10. Robinson up the middle.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Here is 3rd and 5. Now Penix. That is caught. And he is going to have a Falcons first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
In motion goes McLeod. A play fake. Now Penix.
He's got the hook up to McLeod. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Back to the ground with Robinson.
And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. So from second and long, now we go to third and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in four-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Being chased out left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. 4 yards there as they let him out of the pocket, and he got enough for the first.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year, and part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
From the shotgun, it's Penix.
Incomplete.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Now a 2nd and 10. Straight ahead, it's Robinson.
And he's going to get this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Seahawks 16.
44 yards rushing for him now to this point.
That was another good run, and he's having an excellent day. And right now, I don't think his team could have any more confidence in handing him the football.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here.
Penix working out of the gun here. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And the Falcons are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2.
Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
And looking to throw, Penix.
And he's got it. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal.
To the air, Penix. This to Pitts, and he's got him. Touchdown, Atlanta.
2 yards on the touchdown there.
And the Falcons are back within a score. Well, with this rookie QB, we talk a lot about his ball placement and how good he can be at laying it right in there. I think we just saw, Charles, though, the strength of that arm. That was an absolute rifle for the completed touchdown.
It absolutely was, and let's face it, you think he was really ready to get that first touchdown? Absolutely. He threw that pass with authority, just as you described. Big-time arm right there, and let's face it, a lot of quarterbacks used to be pitchers in baseball. The fastball was usually their best pitch, and we saw it there.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field.
So for this offense, Charles, remember drive 1 made it to the end zone. Drive 2 resulted in a touchdown as well. Now they'll try to make it 3 for 3.
Yeah, and you know, they told us all week that this was the plan and this is what they wanted to execute, but did they really believe it would happen this well, this efficiently? I know they'll take it, and afterwards they'll say, there was never a doubt in our minds we were going to be successful in this one.
First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
It's a pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44.
It's a gain of 15. First down, Seahawks.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Play action. It's Smith. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
This early in the game, it's all about making steady progress downfield, hoping to lead to early points. And you can do it with your actual play calls or sometimes something a little more improvised, as we just saw there.
Toss left side for Walker.
Fights loose. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21.
88 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Give the sack to Lorenzo Carter.
Well, that's what they have to do more of defensively. Not just getting sacks, but they have to keep getting in his face, not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey. Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Now Geno.
Throw out wide to Walker.
And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Myers' kick is good, and they will move up by 10 now, 17-7.
So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Falcons ready to take over. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
2nd down, 8 to go from the 28. Robinson with another carry.
A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
3rd and 8. Here's Penix. Pass to the sideline and pulled in.
And he goes out right around the 39. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
After one, 17-7 is our score. Back now in Atlanta, second quarter action. The Falcons with the football.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's 2nd and 9.
As they've got it as we resume action.
And this will be caught by Mooney.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Operating from the gun, Penix. And complete to Drake London.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Second and a couple. In motion goes McLeod. Play fake, and they'll throw with Penix.
He'll let this go for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted.
Picked by Julian Love. And the Seahawks are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
Back out now comes Kenneth Walker and the Seattle offense.
He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. 11 yards for number 11.
Well, that certainly has to feel good, and it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Now it's Smith off the bootleg.
Going right back to Smith and Jigba.
They'll give him 4 yards there, and it's 2nd down.
Up the middle, here's Walker.
And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big third down play.
From the gun on third down, Smith.
Pass complete. He's got Smith and Jigba.
And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. Third catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
A pair of first downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44. Up the middle they run. It's Walker. Powers past him at midfield. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory.
96 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Sticking with Walker on second down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the first half.
Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack.
Lorenzo Carter. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
The Seahawks will call on Michael Dixon on fourth down to punt this one away. Avery Williams deep for Atlanta. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here.
Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8.
They'll throw with Penix. Short throw caught by Pitts.
And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
This offense so far on third down, they've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Call it a loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up 4th down now. I don't care if you're taking it in round 1, you're undrafted, whatever. As a rookie quarterback in this league, you're going to have games where you face adversity like this.
Lessons. All the time you're going to face these lessons. The key for this guy is, will he be able to bounce back in the next one? Because right now, this has not been his game.
So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. Good open field tackling there. A 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
The Seahawks offense and Kenneth Walker set to take over once more.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Nice satisfying run on first down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
Sticking with Walker on second down.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
A yard all they need, but it's third down. They'll try for the first with Walker.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It's a gain of 3, and it gets him the first.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They run again with Walker. Powering forward.
And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line.
1st down Seattle on a pickup of 13.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Now Smith. That's complete to DK Metcalf. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and that'll bring up a 2nd down in just a couple. They'll fake it. Now Smith. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
Defensively, celebration time, because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he is going to have a Seahawks 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. To the air again, Smith. Throws right side, and that's complete. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And, partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. And he's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
Here's Walker. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks.
Ken Walker.
A 5-yard touchdown run. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of a season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all.
And it was Ken Walker finishing things off with a touchdown run.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here.
And a pretty slick return there. Almost got it to the 45. Officially, they'll call him down at the 44.
And here now come the Falcons.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And looking to throw, Penix. Short throw caught by Pitts.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta.
And a nice job by the two of them to not only connect on the pitch and the catch, but to carry over their practice work to the game field. They saw the adjustment by the defense, made an adjustment themselves, and picked up the first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. This drive starts with 2 steps forward and now 1 back. A pair of first downs, and here a loss of yardage.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And not much running room. Down to the 32.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. On 3rd down, Penix from the gun. Now throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
Just what Seattle was hoping for. The coverage holds, and now 4th down.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Koo knocks this one through the post,
and that will close the gap down to 14. Well, maybe a little bit of an anxious moment there as that ball got closer and closer, but it does curl in.
Yeah, actually did a little bit of a slow dance there with the left upright, didn't it? But had just enough space, as you said, for it to curl in.
and they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Seahawks offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And he's been a tough man to stop in this first half. He's putting up some big numbers already, and we have yet to reach halftime.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
Here's Walker to start the drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other. And Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL. They're just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of the formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch, but the defenders were there, couldn't do a whole lot with it afterwards.
On third down, here's Walker. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield.
11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that'll bring up second down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose, and boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
From the 43, it's 2nd and 3.
Throwing now is Geno. He'll find Metcalf. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Now it's Smith. He's got his big tight end, Fant. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be second down.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
From the 29, here's 2nd and 4.
In motion, the tight end. Now a play fake, and it's Smith. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
But that's Grady Jarrett who forced his way through to register the sack. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is third down. Smith. And this is going to be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time.
Now here's Jason Myers. He gets set for the Seahawk field goal.
On the left hash, officially, it's called a 51-yard attempt. Myers' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers? It's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it. Certainly not the way they drew it up in the playbook, but that's why they love this guy back there. He sees things breaking down, and he's more than capable of finding an escape route and still getting a decent gain.
Now Penix.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts, as he'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's got the hook up to McLeod.
And from the 42 now, here's 2nd and 2. From the shotgun, it's Penix.
Forced out to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Third down and 13. Penix working out of the gun here.
Steps away to his left. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
Now here's Bradley Pinion now.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback.
Kenneth Walker headed back out there.
He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
And we'll see how much they give him the ball here. And this time they'll just keep this on the ground. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
It was a strong first half for the former Spartan, Kenneth Walker. He's already over 100 yards rushing for the game and has a touchdown run as well.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. It'll be Falcons football, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Atlanta regains possession of the football. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game. Partner, it took a while for him to lock onto a receiver, and he finally found his man coming left to right across the formation. But by the time he got the ball to him, not much of a chance to turn upfield and make anything out of it.
And looking to throw, Penix. Got an open man, it's McLeod. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Handoff now to Robinson. And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
That's out wide here for Robinson.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll leave them with a 3rd and 2.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
And they'll send the tight end in motion.
Here's Penix. Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he's going to get this inside the 30.
It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Operating from the gun, Penix. And this one nearly picked off. Yeah, kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's 2nd down.
It certainly looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
To the air, Penix. Targeting Pitts on the out route, and he's got it complete.
And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Throwing again, Penix. Going for Kyle Pitts again. He's got him again. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Kyle Pitts, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Falcons are able to cut into this lead as they score on the opening drive of the 2nd half. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. So that drive goes 8 plays.
And it was the tight end Kyle Pitts finishing it all off on the touchdown reception. Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. The visitors' offense and Geno Smith headed back out for this next possession. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You can say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
2nd and 7.
Geno now to throw.
Throwing the out route, and he connects with Fant.
And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
He'll get that to Charbonnet.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's a 2nd and 4.
Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. It'll be a gain of just a yard. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Straight ahead, Walker.
And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
Now, that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the 1st down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet. They're going to go for it on 4th. Here we go on 4th. Smith.
That is caught.
And he's taken down inside the 30. 4th down, no problem. Just a ho-hum pickup of 14 to keep the offense on the field. 4th and 2, they got it. That was kind of that gray area. Is that a feel thing, whether you go run or pass there offensively?
I think it's a feel thing. It's a tendency thing about what you like to do yourself on offense, as well as knowing how strong they are against the run on defense. Got to make a decision, and they made the correct one.
And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
Here's Smith. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Noah Fant with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead.
So they get their tight end away from the line to the outside, and he works his way in for 6.
Tight ends are not just blockers anymore. I don't know how many more times we need examples, but here's a great one. Gets to the outside, they give him the ball pretty quickly, and they trust him to get those extra yards, and boy, did he come through, bullying his way into the end zone after the nice catch.
Now Myers for the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays.
And it's Noah Fant who caps things off with the touchdown.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. Room to run at the 50.
Ray McLeod.
And it'll be an excellent return as he's all the way down inside the 25-yard line.
We all know the teams never want to use the word panic, but if they expect to win this game, it has to start right here, right now. That return just set them up for points, and it needs to be a touchdown, not a field goal.
They'll throw with Penix. And this will be caught by Mooney.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And looking to throw, Penix. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Julian Love picks it.
And the Seahawks are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line.
Those INTs all sting, but you throw one in the red zone, I think especially as a rookie, maybe it stings a little bit more.
I think what you're saying is they don't all count the same, do they? Right? Interceptions in the red zone that you've given up points now, those are precious, so you have to learn from those and in a hurry.
Now the ball now going back over to the Seattle Seahawks offense. And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. Now they'll start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10. He completes this to Walker.
And he's taken down, but able to get this up to the 20-yard line. They were looking for a little spark and some breathing room. They got it right there, a gain of 14 and a first down.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Smith now to throw. Out to the right, he gets it to Lockett. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Hand off here to Walker.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Again, it's Walker. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the third down play.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Trying the left side with Walker. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
A big part of a middle linebacker's job is being able to take on blocks and then go make plays. But the best ones, they have those big guys in front of them playing defensive line that hold blockers off of them and allow them to flow sideline to sideline and make the big hits.
They'll try the air now with Smith. It's caught inside the 25. And mark him down all the way inside the Atlanta 20. It's a big play there for Seattle. 41 yards.
Another big play right there, and this is where, as an offense, you can really put the hammer down. You've got a double-digit lead, but those other guys, they've been hanging around. A touchdown here could put this game out of reach, and that's a strong step towards getting it done.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Throwing now is Geno. That's caught over the middle by Fant. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
2nd down and 4. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. And it's caught. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Noah Fant, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it's Noah Fant who caps things off with the touchdown. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Falcons offense and Michael Penix set to take over once more. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets. And it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's 2nd down and a yard. Now Penix. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back to throw here. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Locates Mooney on the out route. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. From just across the midfield stripe, here's 2nd and 3. They'll go play action here with Penix. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
He certainly isn't looking at the scoreboard out there because, to me, all he's concerned about is analyzing the field and making most of the time left in this game. Deficit's still there, but he's starting to hit them with some big plays.
On the counter, this is Robinson. And he'll just plow right into a host of tacklers. Nothing there at all, and it'll be 2nd and 10. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
In motion goes the tight end. And looking to throw, Penix. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
That looked great when he first took off because, in my mind, there was room to run and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with his 4th down call.
Koo knocks this one through the posts, and they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The visitors' offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long. They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
Now a play fake, and it's Smith. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Atlanta, Georgia's the spot, and glad to have you along for the ride. Third quarter action, 2nd and 10. Now a draw play. It's Walker. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards.
This is where the NFL is headed year by year, partner. A league where just about everyone has someone under center who can get you with their legs as well as their arm. And we've certainly had a nice display of that from both QBs in this game, and that continued with that first down run.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Off of play action, here's Smith. On the move to his left. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
There he goes, and for good reason. Running with it has paid dividends earlier in this game and earlier on this drive. And until they prove they can stop him, I don't think he's going to be shy about continuing to run for first downs instead of airing it out.
Walker now on 1st and 10. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Second down and 8. Sticking with Walker on second down. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Atlanta. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. From the gun, it's Walker. And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
So on 4th down, here's Jason Myers for the Seahawks field goal. And this one a 41-yard attempt. Myers' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so, and maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so that you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Atlanta prepped and readied for its next possession. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
From the 44-yard line, here's second down and 1. Play fake, and they'll throw with Penix. Right back to Pitts again. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A gain there of 30 big ones.
To get back in this ball game, big plays are going to be necessary. And here's one right on cue. Coming up with 3 scores here in the 4th is not going to be an easy task, but that's good work there to bite off a chunk of yards.
Robinson up the middle. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Now a 2nd and 2. Here's Penix. That's into the hands of Pitts, the tight end. And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Jaron Reed picks up his second sack of the afternoon. This defense, they just continue to feast. 5 sacks now as a unit. It's been quite an afternoon getting to the quarterback.
And we're seeing it come from a variety of places as well. Sometimes just the guys up front and getting to them. Other times you add extra guys rushing the quarterback, twists and stunts. It's been a variety, and they've had no way of blocking them.
Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. To the air, Penix. That's complete right around the 8. And he's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This is 3rd and 4. They'll set up a throw. And that is incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
And a field goal obviously means nothing here. They're going to go ahead and go for it on 4th down. On the bootleg, it's Penix. Dancing to his left. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. The D brought the house, they called the blitz, and they get to the quarterback, overwhelming the O-line.
And I would love to know, and we'll find out later on, was that called before the play, or did they audible into it? Because defenses change plays as well as offenses. Sometimes they get the set they want, they go right to the blitz, and in this case, they nailed it. Got right to the quarterback, no chance on that 4th down.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Matt Judon there to bring him down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Marching in for the sack, Matthew Judon. A CD, a little bit of feast or famine for him. He's had some success throwing the football, but also now he's been sacked 4 times.
Yeah, you just mentioned the 4 sacks, but you're right. He has managed to hang in there and make plays at times. His offensive line, they've got to figure it out and pick things up and give him more opportunities, and he has to help them by getting rid of the ball a little bit quicker as well.
Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Out of the gun, Walker with it. And he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. A strong run there, and for a team and a coaching staff that says they're consistently striving for a solid running game, they love those plays.
Yeah, that one didn't net them a 1st down. But isn't it the type of play that you write down on your sheet? That worked pretty well. Make sure you come back to it, especially in a key situation.
A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Well, the Falcons back out getting set for this next drive. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, They were just out-personnelled. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
2nd and 10. Now back to throw. Kadarius Hodge has it complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a sign of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
They'll look to throw now on first down.
That's complete to Mooney.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. But I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
They'll look to throw here on first down. It's caught on the right side by Robinson.
And the Falcons are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta.
Michael Penix.
A 6-yard touchdown run.
And the Falcons are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
And this is a balancing act for a head coach with a rookie quarterback. You've got to walk a line with him. You don't want him getting happy feet, but you also don't want to rein in what worked for him in college. And here, he pulls it down, takes it himself, and takes it into the end zone.
The Falcons are going to leave the offense out there. They'll go for 2.
In motion goes McLeod.
They'll let Robinson try and run. And he's going to go down right at the line of scrimmage. The defense left him with nowhere to go, and the try for 2 is denied.
I have to admit, I love the excitement of a 2-point try. You know, to see what's going to happen, and it happens pretty quickly, doesn't it? You get an answer, and in this case, it was unsuccessful for the guys trying it.
Completely unrelated. I just realized that I stole both of your pins in this last half of the game. My bad, partner.
Hey, that's okay. Well, and just in the time they went for 2.
And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. This offense headed back out, captained, of course, by their quarterback. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he'll fight for a couple as the tackle is made at about the 32.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
He'll buy some time, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Here's Williams to return.
A 55-yard punt that time with a return of about 14. And it will be Falcon football.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here.
Their defense was able to force the punt a moment ago, but that's really the first of about 8 steps that need to go right for them to get back in this as they start here 1st and 10.
Uchenna Nwosu in there with pressure yet again. That is the 7th time that they have dropped him here this afternoon.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13.
They'll throw with Penix. Short throw caught by Pitts.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. So the completion good for 6 yards. 3rd and 7 now.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
And looking to throw, Penix. Here's a screen for Robinson. Into space at the 45. And he is going to have a Falcons 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
For as many sacks as this defense has, you can understand their willingness to try and get upfield and get another. So what a really smart play call here to use their aggression against them. Go with the screen, and they're able to get the 1st down.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air and defensively. They were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
Now a 2nd and 10. To throw again is Penix. And this will be caught by Mooney.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 34-yard line. These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the 1st.
Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice 1st down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it's 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
Well, this has certainly turned into a showcase game for what he can do on the ground because they're just continuing to give him chances to run it, and he's earning every additional carry by putting up positive yardage on each run.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. From the shotgun, it's Penix.
And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22.
Well, this is getting ridiculous. 8 sacks now. That time multiple guys get to him.
Well, this has turned into an absolute week to forget for this quarterback. Multiple sacks. Pair that with multiple turnovers. As far as he's concerned, if he ever sees this defense again, it'll be way too soon.
Penix working out of the gun here. He finds Mooney here on the comeback route.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon. Now Penix.
And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown.
Darnell Mooney.
A 5-yard touchdown.
And the Falcons have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. The 4th quarter touchdown there, back to a 2-score game, but time is not their ally.
No, it's not, partner. They still have a pulse, but it's probably a little weak right now. A lot of things have to go right in these final 2 minutes plus for them. I think they have to be thinking onside kick here, and we know how difficult those are to recover.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that'll make this now an 11-point deficit. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays.
And finishing it all off was Darnell Mooney with a touchdown reception.
2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics would tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. Up the middle they run. It's Walker. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
Now here's Michael Dixon. He's been terrific so far. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line.
The Falcons offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And this defense has got to be at its wits' end, trying to come up with ways to keep him contained. He's had so many opportunities to tuck it and go, and he's turned a number of those opportunities into big plays. He's got Mooney, and he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
Decent start to the drive there. Of course, they need the touchdown, 2-point conversion, and a field goal.
Yeah, those guys are into it. How about the guys on the sidelines? You see the coaches signaling, all the personnel groups up on the sideline, ready to go in and out of the game. They've got to condense their time now in order to try and get back into it.
A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
And let's face it, this defense has had its share of struggles all game long, and they know that they can put it all behind them if they defend well here in the 2-minute drill. Excellent coverage right there to force the incompletion.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10.
He'll look to throw.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely four-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the first down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
Boy, here's a big one. You can just feel it. This is 3rd down now. They'll try to throw again. Here's Penix. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
2 timeouts still remaining, but scoring quickly, a must. It's 1st and 10. That's going to be caught by Pitts.
The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game.
Here's 1st and 10. And looking to throw, Penix. To the sideline and incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
The clock stopped. 50 seconds to play. 2nd and 10. Penix to the air once more.
Over the middle, that's caught by McLeod. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Of course, remember, you need a touchdown here and a field goal.
Doesn't matter the order, but they have to get it done and get it done fast.
Now 1st and goal. Operating from the gun, Penix.
And this is caught, so it's a late touchdown, but maybe too late. Still a little time left on the clock, however. Coming from where they were, they knew this was going to be tough, but they got the touchdown. Now they need the miracle, the onside kick and a little extra.
Yeah, and you have to get the onside kick and not have the ball bounce around a lot and eat up time. You want to be able to grab it, possess it, and get your offense out there for what you just termed a miracle last chance.
So certainly some importance to this one now. After the touchdown, they could get this down to a field goal with a 2-point conversion.
They'll try and throw with Penix.
And unable to connect. They don't get the 2-point conversion here. And that one is incomplete. It stops the clock now with 15 seconds remaining. So 15 ticks remaining as they line up for the onside kick. And this is going to be taken in by the Seahawks. And it would appear they're on their way to victory now. The risk-reward of the onside kick, when you don't get it, the risk comes out to play. And here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them. And field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things. Now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
Smith down to a knee here, and that should just about do it. Charles, normally when you see a group score this many points, it's a complete blowout, but instead they needed every single one of those in this close, high-scoring affair.
And, Brandon, I'm still on the edge of my seat after that one, because when you have that much scoring and it still comes down to a one-possession game at the end, that's not something we see very often. And in this case, these offenses, they brought it. The defenses, they're going to need some work going forward.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. Till next time, we say so long from Atlanta.